India's top court upholds a ruling that strips Kashmir and Jammu of their special status, paving the way for state elections next year. In a setback for India's only Muslim-majority region, the Supreme Court has ruled that the 2019 government decision to strip Jammu and Kashmir of its special rights was legal. It's also ordered that state elections be held by September next year. But Pakistan's caretaker government has rejected that verdict, saying it has no legal value. It's also pledged to write to the United Nations, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the European Union. Neha Poonia has more on this ruling.
5 judges who listened to arguments earlier in the year ruled unanimously that the government's move to revoke Kashmir's autonomy was constitutionally valid. More than a dozen petitions had challenged the revocation, alleging it was done without the consent of the State Assembly and that only locally elected representatives and not the Parliament had the right under Article 370 to rule on the special status. The court rejected those petitions, saying that Article 370 was a temporary provision and hence could be revoked, adding it was only put in place to allow the erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir to become a part of the Union of India after the country won its independence from British rule. The court also said that that's why any powers accorded to the state could not override powers accorded to the Indian government under the country's constitution. The court warned that every decision taken by the Indian government on behalf of a state cannot be challenged, saying, quote, this will lead to chaos. The court also ordered that the region's statehood be reinstated at the earliest opportunity and elections be held by the end of September next year. Ahead of the judgment, security in the region was hiked and local leaders put under house arrest. Many local politicians have expressed disappointment with the court's judgment, saying their fight for the honor and dignity of the Kashmiri people will continue.
The petitioners, as you know, had challenged the abrogation itself. The fact that the court has upheld the abrogation has definitely been disappointing for the petitioners. And one of the main arguments which was put forward by the petitioners had been that Article 370 preserved a more autonomous relationship of the state with the rest of India. It was the basis on which the state had integrated into India, and to abrogate it so abruptly went against the principles of federalism.
Article 370 was a constitutional provision that allowed the state of Jammu and Kashmir to make its own laws, like prohibiting Indians from outside the state from buying land there, holding government jobs, or permanently settling there as well. Kashmiri politicians had accused India of introducing the changes deceitfully and claimed it was a betrayal of the trust of the people who did not want these changes. But Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi reacted to the judgment, calling it a promise of a brighter future and a testament to a collective resolve to build a stronger India. Experts say the court judgment is a shot in the arm for the Indian leader who had made national integration of Kashmir an election promise in 2019. Mr. Modi is seeking a record third term next year, and experts argue that the court ruling will only strengthen his argument. But critics have long accused India's government of trying to change the demographic profile of India's only Muslim-majority region through this move, a charge the government has denied. Neha Poonia, CNA, New Delhi.